Hello everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Cookie Chat. We're going to be discussing Yu-Gi-Oh! Regionals Utah, Taylorsville, Utah. And I apologize if my voice seems a little off and I got the sniffles. Um, Looks like I came down with something probably from regionals. Um, and I get to go to work tomorrow, so that'll be fun. But anyway, let's jump into it. First, we'll wait for a save and then we'll see how the Wrinklers are doing. Um, Recorded two It's Time to Duels tonight with Connor, some goofy mill. It was really fun. Drug on a bit. There might have been a little bit of salt, but it was still fun. Um, let's see. The way the regionals went was pretty good. I ended up playing Shadows. If you don't watch my other Yu-Gi-Oh videos, that's usually what I play. Which, it's a pretty good deck. It's just that all the good decks these days, like the top tier decks, nope, not gonna be worth it. Pretty much all the top tier decks right now murder Shadows. I mean, Shadows are still really good. It's just do the current meta decks just destroy Shadows. So, like Cleaforts, it's like well, you can't do anything against them. There was one duel where I got a guy playing Cleaforts down to 100 life points, and I had like 6,900, and then he just fucking unleashed the horde, mowed me down. A little frustrating. I ended up going 3-5. My first win was to a no-show, so yeah, I ended up beating like someone basically bought three of those Blue Eyes structure decks that came out a little while ago, made those into a deck, and another guy who was playing uh, some sort of fairy thing. Uh, it the big guy of that deck was like Archlord something. I couldn't really tell what he was doing because, from what I understand with that deck, it either gets off the ground and destroys you or it does nothing, and it just did nothing. So that's how that went. Driving from Billings, Montana to Salt Lake City was a bit of a journey. See a lot of shack towns out there. Man, a lot of those small towns, it just seems like they have one or two nice buildings, usually like a school, or one town that had like a few hundred people had this really big and nice U.S. bank for some reason, and then the rest of the houses were crap, like or just all the buildings were crap. I don't. That's just how that was. Um, God, it's hard to think with this fever. More on the trip. Tried In-N-Out Burger for the first time, which is heaven on a bun. Like, and if you've never been, it's beautiful. They have such a small menu. It's like we have like three different kinds of burgers. We have fries. We have milkshakes and sodas, and that's pretty much it. And a couple combos, but that's it. Like it's just ultimate simplicity, but it's just high quality food. And like I did a little research into them because I liked it so much. They don't use freezers or microwaves. I'm not as much pressed by the microwaves part. I really hope no one's microwaving my food at fast food places. But they don't have any of those at any of their locations. And I looked into franchising. Like maybe I can get someone in Billings to franchise. But they don't franchise at all. They own all the stores. I was reading an interview by the CEO, or I don't even know if it's CEO, maybe just the owner, because they're not a big fancy company like that, of In-N-Out Burger. And basically, her grandmother owned it, and she died recently and she inherited it. This lady's 30 and she's still not changing her mind, so it's probably not going to happen soon. They don't franchise, she doesn't plan on selling, and the reason they don't spread more is because they're extremely controlling of their distribution and their stores. That's why they can get away without having any freezers. So they're just in control of everything. So everything's constant, and they go through their food so fast. And since they have such a small menu, they don't have any like weird obscure things that they have to stock just for franchising sake that goes bad. I mean, it's an amazing business model. I bet they make a killing. I tried Chick-fil-A, which is good. Not as good as In-N-Out, but it's still pretty good. It's kind of like I said, I sound a little weird, but I was kind of creeped out while I was there. Like it was too nice. Like it was nice on the inside. It was a nice building, All the staff was nice. They don't refer to you as customers. Everyone's a guest. And if they give you something and you say thanks, they say my pleasure. All of them, and it's just like, it's like robotic, and it like, maybe it just says that I'm wary of stuff like that. But I'm like, God, you're being too nice. Like it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right at all. Something that I never heard of before that I tried, that I didn't, is, I don't know if you've ever heard of Arctic Circle. Let me see. Wonder how prevalent those even are. Is there like a map of them? That's it? No, there's not that many of them. That'd be why. Okay. So yeah, they're pretty good. They're kind of like a DQ, but their desserts are pretty good. I ordered a milkshake and they gave it to me with a spoon. So I don't think they really know what a milkshake was. It was just like flavored ice cream. It was still really good, but I don't think they really know what a milkshake is. I ended up having a burger there, which was really good. Not quite In-N-Out levels, but I could settle for having an Arctic Circle in town. Their fries were good too. Like, I guess when, like, I live in a town of like 100,000. I suppose when you live in one like this, you get pretty much all the staple fast food restaurants: your McDonald's, your Burger King's, your Taco Bell, Taco John's. Actually, I don't think Taco John's a staple. Hardee's. I mean, they're Carl's Jr. pretty much everywhere else, but Hardee's and Carl's Jr. are essentially the same thing. We got all that, but those kind of places are kind of just mediocre. Those places that are really good, they're like, you gotta go places to get them. Kind of sucks. We ended up staying at the hotel called Home 2. Well, that's just a pretty nice place. I ended up sleeping on the floor under a table the first night, and I asked if I could have a bed the second night, because I didn't feel like sleeping on the floor again. Connor was driving. He ended up getting pulled over because we were on this, right outside of Du Bois, Idaho. There's this really, really long stretch of just straight interstate. Speed limit's 80. And at one point we were passing a guy. We were passing, I think it was a truck. So we had to speed up a little bit to get past it, because, you know, it's dangerous being near semis for a long time, because they have massive blind spots, and you do not want to stay in them, because then you die. So he clocked us while we were passing, and he pulled us over, said, "Hey, I got you at 88 and an 80," which seems a little picky, but, you know, highway patrol, they don't have much to do. Let me see. So, you know, we got out our insurance, or his insurance. They had, like, all their insurance cards in that car since, like, 2009, except the current one. So, it was a little rough, and, the guy was gonna let us off. He let us off on a couple warnings. Like, not the, sometimes they'll write you up paper warnings. This was just, like, a verbal warning. But he said, "Alright, but, you know, I need you." He just kind of looked at Connor, like, "Slow down. Like, real serious. Like, this is important." And he's like, "Sure, 80 miles an hour all the way." So, like, you know, there's some 65s in there, too. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I'll do 65, I promise." And it was kind of stressful, because immediately after we were done with that and we pulled away, he was following us, and we were like, "Oh, God, this..." I don't think my heart, or Connor's heart, because he's probably more stressed than me, could handle getting tailed by a cop for the entire way there. But he just, you know, pulled off at the last go-between where the cops sit to speed trap you. So he only followed us for like 5 minutes or less, so that wasn't too bad. See, yeah, as far as Yu-Gi-Oh! Regionals go, it's kind of weird. The whole time I was there, I was looking for girls. I mean, just because, like, there has to be one, because there was 152 competitors. There has to be one girl competing here. And it's, you know, there are female Yu-Gi-Oh! Players, it's just, from what I understand, they just don't go to those events. Because, I hate to say it, at those things, the nerd stereotype becomes very true. And, you know, there's some nice normal people, and there's some people who don't even look like nerds. Like, they seem pretty jockish, but, like, a good percent of them are just, like, the stereotype Uh, Not even antisocial nerds. Those are the easy ones. Like, just the socially inept nerds are the creepy ones, or the ones who just don't shower. And yeah, so I can kind of see why. Apparently, there's a bit of a rep for girls going to things like that and getting creeped on, so they just like, it's okay, I don't need to go. Which is too bad. Because, it sucks if you went by that for our community, less than 1% of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community is female, which, pretty bad. Pretty bad. Let's see. Oh, yeah. This is something I actually wanted to look at. I haven't looked at it yet. All those copyright claims I sent out, some of them should have expired by now. So hopefully... What is this up? $3.11. Oh, one of them released it. I think there were some that had to be released by 3.7. I wonder if they did. Let's just scroll all the way down to those. Maybe page 3? Yeah, it looks like it. That means I have to go back. That means I have to go back through and monetize them. I hope if I monetize them again, they won't claim it again, because that'd just be a dick move. I thought I put a thumbnail for this. Wonder if it changed it. And of course it goes back here. Okay. I usually don't monetize these. I guess I did some of them. Whatever. I don't think it matters that much. Yeah, okay, so it looks like they released all the bullshit on my videos. Good. That was kind of pissing me off. Like, you didn't sit down and rage at these games. Or just deal with them. And sometimes sometimes you don't feel like playing, but you do anyway. You get excited about it. Is that it? Check next page. Wow, I put out a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos. Okay, these are the next ones coming up. Alright. So that's handled. Let's see. As far when I was talking before about my boss who had to go up before all the stuff she did wrong, stealing from other departments and trying to lie about it, and then when they investigated, everyone basically threw her under the bus because she's a huge bitch. Like things like, oh, she's asked me to redate things and put them back on the shelves. Here, I'll show you. And the guy came down and took pictures of it. And I said some things before she'd done things to me before. So apparently she got talked to on Friday. And she was in a terrible mood Saturday, from what I understand. But she's still there. Like, are they just gonna... If they just take the 600 of stolen goods out of our department's money and give her a little talking to... Well, I'm gonna be kind of pissed off. Because I told them, and I know a lot of people told them about a lot of things she has done wrong. And that she is just an unkind, terrible person to work for that makes me stress out every day about going to work a little bit more than I need to. Like, I don't love working, but I can just accept it as part of my day. The thing I dread is Donna being there. Or my boss, Donna. Like, that's the stuff that causes me issues. God, what else? So yeah, if what I'm hoping happened, because we were pretty short-staffed this week, because she's terrible at making schedules. What I'm hoping happened was they saw that, like, okay, we're gonna start your suspension or whatever next week, like the week that has not been scheduled out, and I don't know. If I, as far as I'm concerned, a slap on the wrist punishment to me would be like a week suspension, and then another week suspension, but she has to take some sort of managerial class because she does not know how to do it right. Like, she just treats us like we're robots, you know? We don't have feelings. Like, we're just extensions of her will in the deli. That's not how it is. First of all, I mean, it's just terrible managerial style. Like, I know people who are like, because they hate Donna so much, they will do things like, whoops, I just dropped that. Like, that kind of stuff. Like, and you know, you'd have said something about that to me like a year or two, 3 ago. I'd have said, oh god, that's terrible, they should be fired. But when I'm in this position, I'm just like, I feel like victimized. And I know that this is just a tiny, tiny drop in the bucket and doesn't mean anything. But it's something, you know? I'm not usually the one who's doing it, but it always makes me smile when I see it. Um, let's see what else we got happening. Today was pretty much my first real day off in a long time. I mean, I had Friday through Sunday off, but I was on the road for 10 hours Friday, at the event all day Saturday, at the event, and then driving all day Sunday. And I worked yesterday, so today was pretty much my day to relax, to get some good sleep. I mean, as fun as it was, because I was staying with 6 guys in one room, including me, I didn't really have a second of privacy, like, for 3 days. And I'm a really private person. I do not like being around others longer than I have to be. Like, I don't mind people, but it's really important to me that I have a place I can just go to and be away from people. At least, you know, a couple times a day. Just kind of be with my thoughts or something. It's something I really need. Makes me feel a lot better. Let's see, covered Yu-Gi-Oh! Regionals, covered channel news. I'm probably, you know, I was going to plan on recording some Alien, but I'm not feeling very well. I kind of want to be in, not sick to record that. I was fine with Yu-Gi-Oh! Because, you know, there's another person there to help fill the void. Or for the first video, there were 3 of us. Will was there, but he kind of had to go to bed, so after the first one, which I understand, you know. He just wanted to watch, see how stupid our decks were. I thought our decks were actually alright. For 60 cards with no duplicates, they ran somewhat consistently. Like, there were some combos in there I was getting, like, every time, almost. So, you know, that was pretty fun. I like doing goofy stuff like that, you know. I really don't like meta Yu-Gi-Oh! I only kind of play it now just because I like Shadows, because it's a fusion-based deck, and it's really fun, and it's kind of fast-paced. Doesn't do a lot of bullshit. It just kind of does its thing. But Qliforts, I just hate them. Necros, I don't hate them, but they're rough. Like, Qliforts is pretty much Shadows' worst matchup. I know Necros are top tier, but Qliforts against Shadows is the worst. Yosenju, I don't mind so much. I don't think I'd want to play it, but I don't mind so much playing against. Spirit Beasts are just, they kind of do shit on their own for a long time, but they never really accomplish anything. It's weird. I don't really understand what the point of that deck is. I mean, they have a card that just wipes the field, but to what end? They usually don't play it, at least that I've seen, and then they just contact in and out fuse like 5 times, and if they're lucky, they get like a 2800 beater. Ooh boy. Ooh boy. Okay. I really do feel like I'm forgetting something somewhat important. It's really hard to focus when you're feeling like this. Shit. It has to be something. I mean, how could there not be? Oh yeah, little funny story that happened. So on the way up to Salt Lake, we were watching. The car had a DVD player, and we were watching Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie, which was pretty entertaining. But on the way back, I redboxed Captain America: Winter Soldier, and I put it in the DVD player, and it didn't take it. And I messed with it a bit. I tried to force it in a bit, and I'm like, it's just not taking it. So I'd forced it in like halfway, forced it in a bit more. I'm like, okay, I don't think I might be able to get it out now, but I took a gamble. I'm like, maybe if I jam it all the way in, it'll like trigger like a sensor, at least be able to eject it. Nope, it just got stuck, and we couldn't get it to turn on. Like we could get the screen to come on, but it wouldn't eject, it wouldn't play, it wouldn't do anything. And about 40% through our drive, we went out and got tweezers. I tried to get it, but I couldn't. And while I was at the truck stop we were at, looking to buy some smaller tweezers, the guy who stayed in the car managed to like work some black magic on it and got it out with tweezers. But so somewhere because we watched Yu-Gi-Oh movie on the first half of the way to Salt Lake. Somewhere on that second half to the day we left, it just broke for some reason. Like, we tried to put in Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie to see if it was just a DVD, and that didn't work. So, I don't know. I was really scared, though, when I couldn't get the DVD out. Like, oh my god. Because it wasn't Connor's car. He was borrowing it from his parents, because his car can only seat like 5, and it's usually kind of cluttered, and this car could pretty comfortably seat 6. So I was kind of stressed out about that. I'm still kind of worried about it, but I know I didn't break it, but I still don't want to get blamed for it. Not that I'm that worried about happening, I just stress about things sometimes. Let me see, anything else cool happen on the trip? Oh yeah, one thing's funny about regionals is one of the first announcements the judge is making, because this is at a card shop, a place where they sell cards, they say you can make trades with each other, but no cash, because there's a vendor here, and if you want to buy cards, you buy them from them, or sell cards. But like as soon as that announcement's over, between every round, like, hey, I got this card going out for X amount of money, like, no shame, no shame. Just, it was like fucking Wall Street in there. Like there was just money flying everywhere. Even at the vendors too, the vendors weren't cut out. I know a lot of people, some of the people I went up with too, when they were done, they basically took all their cards up, binders and everything up to the vendor and like just cashed out and just left with a few hundred apiece. I've been told by Connor apparently there was this one regionals in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where the day before the event at this card shop, someone came in and basically like hit them for all their product, which would suck because I think it's a little expensive to put on a regionals, and you're banking on making all your money back on like a crazy amount of people being at your shop and buying stuff, and they didn't have anything to sell. So I bet that was a really rough tournament, at least for them. I'm sure the tournament itself was fine. So yeah, there might be a little bit of a gap in videos for just a little while, just because this is my last day off for the week. It's Tuesday, technically Wednesday now, and I don't know when I'll get my next day off. It's usually Tuesday, Wednesday, but with the way things had to change up for the trip, they might just get changed up. I really hope like I don't get like Friday, Saturday, because I'd like to have a 2-day. I tried, when I knew I had last night, or today off, when I got off work last night, I went to a liquor store, bought my first fifth of vodka ever, got carded for the first time, it's all good. I got home, I still had a half-fifth of Grey Goose left, and I poured my first drink, and I drank it while my dad and I watched a movie, and that was it. It just wasn't feeling it. I kind of figured out why. I was probably starting to feel a little sick, and now it's kind of bloomed. Wow. I think that's enough for this. I probably rambled. Sorry if this feels a little rambly, it's just kind of hard to focus with the fever a bit. I don't know, maybe you think it's funny. It's probably not. It's probably not. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.